a key thing. Going back to the superpower thing, the analogy that I use is that, autism can be a gift, but when you open it, you don't always get what you want. So there are certain attributes that I have which I think are advantageous, or they become advantageous to me in my course of life. But there are other aspects of it which are still disadvantageous to me, and I have to work very, very hard to minimize their negative impact. Now, I've got to say, through habit and practice, I'm 61 years old, I am much better at managing those, and it costs me a lot less anxiety, time, effort, and energy to manage them than it did when I was 20-something. Because there was never a structure that I could turn to. I didn't even know what was going on, frankly. But there was never a structure I could turn to where those sorts of management practices were going to be explained. Well, what we want now is to be able to provide younger people or older people with those frameworks so that they can improve the quality of their life. They can see a bright, productive future. They can integrate as much as they wish to and be as productive as they possibly can. And productive, I don't necessarily mean at work, I mean in their social, mental lives and emotional lives as well. And I think everyone, basically has that right. So again, from my point of view, speaking out and up about the condition is something that I feel compelled to do. Otherwise, what am I here for? I mean, I'm not one of those people that's just going to get the paycheck, go home and
I can see that.
Put your feet up. I don't know what that putting your feet up even means, So I think if you've been very fortunate to have been given a voice, albeit a small voice in my instance, you have to exercise that voice for good. Otherwise, what are you for? What's the point of your...
It may feel like a small voice, but I think it's an important voice. I mean, the BBC sounds to me, the BBC, obviously, talking of online hate or everybody feels they have a view of what the BBC shouldn't be doing. But this sounds to me like it's a good use of public money. This is public service broadcasting,
well,
isn't it?
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because I think, having watched the programmes, I'm rarely pleased with things that I do because I know what could have been done better. We all know that. But I think that the two programmes that we've made are the best of public service broadcasting that I've probably been involved in. Not that we don't do great things environmentally and when it comes to conservation and natural history, but we've got so much ground to make up when it comes with dealing with conditions like autism and other differences that people face, the problems we face with diversity and racism and all of the other ghastly ills that are still sadly prevalent in our lives. They've got to be addressed, and this, I think, is really what people pay their license. I know I say that on Springwatch the whole time. That's what you pay your license. But when it comes to these two programs, I mean it really hand on heart. Not with any frippery or at all.